Hello everyone. This is our 17th class on income tax for BCom 5th semester students. Today we are going to solve one 5 marks problem on residential status, and this question was asked in RCU examination in the year 2016 for 5 marks. The problem goes, Sri Pandurang, an Indian citizen, leaves India for the first time to Japan on 1/6/2016 and comes back on 1/7/2018. He again leaves India on 1/12/2018 and comes back on 21/2/2019. He is living in India since then. What is the residential status for the assessment year 2020-21? First, we need to recognize the important dates, that is, when Sri Pandurang has left India, when he is arrived, and when again he leaves India and when he arrives back. So, first time he left India on 1/6/2016 and arrives on 1/7/2018. That is, after 2 years he arrives back in India. That is, he leaves India in the month of June 2016, arrives back in the month of July 2018. That is, after 2 years. After coming back in the year 2018, he stays for some months and again leaves India on 1/12/2018. 1/12/2018 he leaves, and again after 2 months he arrives back, that is on 21 February 2019 he comes back. And in the problem it is provided that the information is provided that he is living in India since then. Means once he arrives in India on 21 February 2019, he lives in India after that. Again after that he doesn't go back to the foreign country. So our previous year starts from 1st April 2019 and it ends on 31st March 2020. Many people have doubt as in what is preceding previous year, what are 4 preceding previous years, what are 7 preceding previous years, and what are 10 preceding previous years. So to clear the doubt, in this slide I have mentioned what are 4, 7 and 10 preceding previous years. Before I go further, let me go back in the basics class and tell you previous year is last year. Last year in the sense a year before assessment year. Now what is assessment year? Assessment year is current year. The year in which we are living, that financial year is known as assessment year. Now in which year we are living, what is our current year or financial year? It is 2020-21. So 20 and 21 is our assessment year. The current year is known as assessment year. In accounts, we call it as current year or financial year, wherein in the language of income tax, for the same year we call assessment year. So the assessment year is what? It is the current year. What is previous year? A year prior to assessment year is known as previous year, or the last year is known as previous year. Last year is what? 2019 and 20. In income tax, we call it as previous year. And what is preceding previous year? A year before previous year is known as preceding previous year. Our previous year is 2019-20, right? What is year before 2019-20? It is 18-19. So 18-19 is first preceding previous year. 17-18 is second. 16-17, 15-16, these are all preceding previous years. So our 4 preceding previous years starts from 2015-16 up to 2018-19. When I speak about 7 preceding previous years, it is between 2012-13 to 2018-19. And when we speak about 10 preceding previous years, it is between 2009-10 to 2018-19. I hope you have understood what is assessment year, what is previous year, and what are preceding previous years, that too 4, 7 and 10 preceding previous years. Let us focus on the problem once again. Sri Pandurang left India on 1/6/2016, arrives back in the year 2018. Again after few months he leaves India. Again in the year 2019, in the month of February, he arrives back in India. And after arriving back in the month of February 2019, he doesn't go out. He doesn't go out of India. He stays back in India itself. Now, we are asked to find residential status of Sri Pandurang. To find out residential status of any assessee or any person, we need to first calculate number of days the person has stayed in India during previous year. So let us calculate number of days stay in previous year by Mr. Pandurang. Sri Pandurang stayed in India for all days in the previous year 2019-20. Let me explain this to you. When he arrives back in India, 21 February 2019, correct? When our previous year starts, it starts on 1st April 2019 and it ends on 31st March 2020. And in the sum, the information provided that once he comes on 21st February 2019, he lives in India only. He never goes out after that. As our previous year starts from 1st April 2019 and Sri Pandurang has come in India in the month of February 2019 itself. That means February 2019, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, Feb, March 2020, he was there in India itself. Therefore, in the previous year, that is from 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020, Sri Pandurang has stayed in India itself. That is the reason Sri Pandurang stayed in India for all days in previous year 2019-20. Therefore, number of days stay of Sri Pandurang in previous year is 365 days. So for all the years he was there in India, so he has stayed in India for 365 days. When he has stayed in India for 365 days, let us check now basic condition. What does first basic condition says? That he has been there in India for 182 days or more in previous year. He was there in India for how many days? 365 days, which is more than 182 days. So first basic condition is fulfilled. So I have written here, yes, first basic condition is fulfilled. Second basic condition is 60 days in previous year plus 365 days in 4 preceding previous years. 60 days in previous year, yes, as he was there for 365 days, which crosses 60 days, he was there. Second half of the second basic condition is he was there in India for 365 days out of 4 preceding previous years. If you see the sum here, 4 preceding previous years starts from 1516 to 1819. So 1516 he was there in India itself. Means 365 days in the year 1516 itself he was there in India for 365 days, and in between he has arrived in India, gone out of India, so more than 365 days he was there in India. So second basic condition also Sri Pandurang fulfills. So both the basic conditions Sri Pandurang has fulfilled. Coming to additional conditions, first additional condition is resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years. Was he resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years? Obviously yes. See here, our 10 preceding previous years starts from 2009-10 to 18-19. When he left India for the first time in the year 2016, means 2009, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, all these years he was resident in India itself. So the first additional condition Sri Pandurang fulfills as he was resident for more than 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years. Second, 730 days or more out of 7 preceding previous years. He was there in India for 730 days or more in 7 preceding previous years. Just check here. 7 preceding previous years starts from when? 2012-13 to 18-19. And he left when? In the year 2016. Means 12, 13, 14, 15, all 365 days in a year for 4 years he was there in India. Which means he stayed definitely for more than 730 days out of 7 preceding previous years. He has fulfilled both the basic conditions. He has fulfilled both the additional conditions. So our conclusion is Sri Pandurang is ordinarily resident in India as he fulfills all the conditions. So far, we have solved problem on ordinarily resident only. I think 3-4 sums we have solved wherein our answer is ordinarily resident only. Let us see a sum wherein we get some different answer than the ordinarily resident. In today's class, we are going to see one more sum on residential status. Here, Miss Reva is a Pakistan resident, visits India for the first time on 15th February 2020 and returns back to Pakistan on 31st August 2020. Find out residential status of Miss Reva for the assessment year 2020 and 2021. What we need to do? To find out residential status of any person, we need to calculate number of days that person stayed in India during previous year. So let us first find number of days Miss Reva stayed in India during previous year. Our previous year is 2019 and 20. It starts from 1st April 2019 and it ends on 31st March 2020. It ends on 31st March 2020. But when is Reva arrived first time in India? 15th February 2020. Means just 2 months before our previous year ends, she has arrived in India. So in the month of February 2020, she was there in India for 15 days. The day of arrival is counted, correct? When is she arrived in India? On 15th February. 15 is included while calculating number of days. And we also have to count 29 days in the month of February for the year 2020 as it is a leap year. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 29 total number of days that we get in the month of February 2020 is 15 days. So Miss Reva has stayed for 15 days in the month of February 2020. And in the month of March she has stayed because when she is gone back to Pakistan on 31st August, means March 2020 she has stayed in India, that is 31 days. Total how much we got? We got 46 days in the previous year. One question that arises, Miss Reva has left again to Pakistan in the month of August, but can we count all the months after March? No. Can we count April month while calculating number of days? No. April, May, June, July and August, these months are not included while calculating number of days, because these months belong to the assessment year, and we want the number of days Miss Reva stayed in the previous year. So our previous year ends on 31st March. So only up to 31st March we can count the number of days. From 1st April 2019, April month she was not there. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January she was not there. First time she arrived in India in the month of February itself, 2020. So only February, for how many days she was there in India, only that we calculate, plus March full month she was there, that we calculate. April, May, June, July, August we cannot take, because after 1st April it is the assessment year, and we want to calculate number of days only for previous year. That is the reason the total number of days Miss Reva stayed in India is 46 days. So remember the figure, 46 days is the total number of days she stayed in India during 2019-20. Now let us check the basic and additional conditions. Basic condition number 1, 182 days or more in previous year. Has she stayed in India for 182 days or more in the previous years? No. Let's check the second basic condition. 60 days in previous year plus 365 days in 4 preceding previous years. Has Miss Reva stayed in India for 60 days in previous year? No, because she has stayed for how many days? Only 46 days. So Miss Reva has stayed less than 60 days in the previous year, and she does not stay in India for 365 days out of 4 preceding previous year, because she arrives in India for the first time in 2020. That means all the previous year she was not resident in India. She was resident of Pakistan. That is the reason she was not there in India for 365 days out of 4 preceding previous years. So both the basic conditions are not fulfilled. Now the additional condition, 2 years out, resident for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years, no, because she has come in the year to 2020 itself. 730 days out of 7 preceding previous years, no. When Miss Reva has not fulfilled the basic condition itself, we need not check the additional conditions only. When the basic conditions are fulfilled, only then we need to check the additional condition. Here, the conclusion is, as Miss Reva could not fulfill any of the basic conditions, she is known as non-resident in India. We have 3 residential status. One is ordinarily resident, second is not ordinarily resident, and third is non-resident. So Miss Reva has not fulfilled any of the basic condition, so she is known as what? Non-resident in India. For this sum, we check the additional condition itself, just for you people to understand this sum. But in usual cases, if any person fails to fulfill the basic condition itself, there is no point in checking the additional conditions. I hope whatever 2 sums that are solved in today's class, you have understood it. In next class, we are going to see some other residential status other than the ordinary and non-resident. And also there are certain important adjustments or notes that you need to remember, which we are going to learn in the next class. So hope you have understood this in class, and I request all the students, you should keep solving these sums in your notebook. Just watching the video will not work, you will not understand it properly. You need to understand how to calculate number of days in your book. Only by watching video you may think that okay, I am understanding this, but when you try some new problem from textbook, you won't understand it unless you practice it continuously or on the regular basis. So I request you people, all the problems that we are solving in the PPTs on online class, make sure that you note down those, and you also try to practice or calculate number of days when you are taking down the notes. Okay, so in the next class we'll see with some adjustment. Thank you.